There's a reason why the quietest person in the room often ends up with everything. While everyone else is talking about what they're going to do, announcing their moves, broadcasting their strategies, the silent ones are already 3 steps ahead. They understand something about power that feels illegal to know, something that changes how you see every conversation forever. Every word you speak about your future is a weapon you hand to someone else. Why do people who talk less always seem to win more? What are quiet people hiding that makes them so dangerous? How do your words become chains that hold you back? Why does revealing your plans feel good but destroy your success? What forbidden law of power are most people violating every single day? My colleague David never said a word about his plans. While everyone in the office was talking about their next promotion, their big ideas, their career moves, David just smiled and listened. 6 months later, he wasn't just promoted. He became everyone's boss, including the people who thought they were competing with him. They never saw him coming because he never let them. Right now, millions of people are desperately asking why they always lose when they show their cards. How silent people control every room they enter. What's the hidden strength that nobody talks about? And today you'll discover why silence isn't empty. It's loaded. Here's the situation. In a world that demands you share everything, the winners are those who reveal nothing. If you ignore this, you'll keep being outplayed by people you never suspected. But stick around and you'll learn how to become the most dangerous person in any room, the one nobody sees coming. You've been trained since childhood to share, to be open, to communicate your intentions. But here's what nobody ever told you about this training. It wasn't designed to help you. It was designed to control you. Think about it. When you announce your plans, what really happens? Your brain releases dopamine. You feel accomplished. You get that hit of satisfaction. And then you lose the hunger. You lose the drive. You've already gotten the reward without doing the work. But there's something even darker happening beneath the surface. 5 centuries ago, a man studied the rise and fall of princes, kingdoms, and empires. He discovered a pattern so consistent, so powerful, that those in power tried to bury his work. They called him evil. They banned his books. They tried to erase his name from history. His name was Niccolò Machiavelli. And what he discovered about silence will fundamentally rewire how you operate in the world. Machiavelli wrote, "Never reveal your full intentions, for men will use your openness against you." He wasn't being paranoid. He was being observant. See, Machiavelli noticed that every fallen prince, every destroyed dynasty, every ruined ruler had one thing in common. They talked too much. They revealed their plans. They showed their hand. And their enemies? They listened. They learned. They struck. This is the moment where everything you've been taught starts to crumble. Your old beliefs about transparency dying right now. You've been told that communication is key, that transparency builds trust, that openness creates opportunity. But Machiavelli saw the truth. Your words are intelligence for your enemies. Your plans are blueprints for your competition. Your dreams are targets for those who want to see you fail. If you've ever wondered why some people seem untouchable, unreachable, unbeatable, it's because they've mastered what Machiavelli called strategic silence. Most people will never accept this truth, but you're different. You're still here. You're ready to see what's really happening behind every conversation. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Strategic silence isn't about being quiet. It's about being selective. It's the difference between a closed door and a locked vault. One suggests you're hiding something. The other suggests you have something worth protecting. Machiavelli identified 3 levels of communication that separate the powerful from the powerless. Level 1, surface speech, what you say to everyone. Level 2, strategic silence, what you deliberately don't say. Level 3, calculated revelation, what you reveal only when it serves you. But here's the twist that rewires your entire social operating system. When you master strategic silence, you don't just protect your plans. You become magnetic. People are drawn to mystery. They're fascinated by what they can't figure out. While everyone else is an open book, you become an unsolved puzzle. You have the right to keep your ambitions locked away until they're unstoppable. If you've ever felt exposed after sharing too much, your instincts were screaming warnings you ignored. Think about the most powerful people you know. Not the loud ones, The real power players. Notice something. They never tell you what they're doing next. They never reveal their full hand. They speak in actions, not announcements. But wait until you hear what happens to those who don't understand this fundamental law. I knew someone named Elena, brilliant woman, had an idea for a revolutionary app. She talked about it everywhere. Networking events, social media, coffee meetings. She was building buzz, she thought, building accountability. 6 months later, her exact app launched, but not by her, by someone who heard her speak at a conference. Someone who said nothing, took notes, and moved faster. Elena thought she was building momentum. She was actually building her own competition. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads, and the path you choose determines whether you become predator or prey. Path 1. Continue sharing your moves. Keep seeking validation through revelation. Keep wondering why others always beat you to the finish line. Path 2. Embrace strategic silence. Become psychologically unreadable. Let your results do the talking while your competition wastes energy guessing. Here's what most people don't understand about Path 2 and why they'll never take it. When you stop revealing your next move, something profound happens. You stop performing for an audience. You stop seeking permission. You stop adjusting your goals based on other people's reactions. You start moving with pure intention. Most people will never experience this freedom, but you're seeing it clearly now. If you've ever felt like people were using your openness against you, you weren't paranoid. You were experiencing exactly what Machiavelli warned about centuries ago. You're about to discover why silence is the ultimate form of power in any interaction. The person who reveals nothing controls everything. Why? Because in a world of oversharing, silence becomes the loudest statement. In a game where everyone shows their cards, the person holding theirs becomes the most dangerous player at the table. You have the right to move in shadows while others stumble in the spotlight. But here's where people get strategic silence completely wrong, and it costs them everything. They think it means being antisocial, being rude, being disconnected. No. Strategic silence means being present without being transparent, engaged without being exposed, friendly without being foolish. If this is hitting different than anything you've heard before, that like button tells the algorithm you're ready for knowledge most people can't handle. Hit it now because what's coming next will permanently change how you navigate every conversation. Machiavelli discovered something about human psychology that's almost too powerful to share openly. People fear what they don't understand more than what they do. When you're silent about your moves, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is the ultimate advantage. Your competition can't counter what they can't anticipate. Your enemies can't attack what they can't see. Your detractors can't destroy what they don't know exists. Here's the framework that transforms you into someone truly dangerous. The 4 pillars of strategic silence. First pillar, selective sharing. Only reveal what serves your purpose. Second pillar, strategic timing. Announce results, not intentions. Third pillar, calculated mystery. Let others fill the gaps with their imagination. Fourth pillar, silent observation. Learn everything while revealing nothing. But here's what happens when you combine all 4 pillars at once. You become what Machiavelli called the fog of war, present but unclear, visible but undefined, known but not understood. If you've ever felt like certain people could read you like a book, it's because you were transparent when you should have been opaque. Let me tell you about Marcus. Used to tell everyone his business ideas, his investment strategies, his 5-year plan. Then he discovered Machiavelli. Stopped talking, started doing. 2 years later, he sold his company for 8 figures. Nobody knew he even had a company until the sale was announced. The difference? He learned that plans shared are plans sabotaged. You have the right to build your empire in darkness and unveil it in daylight. Most people watching will forget this framework within hours. But you're different. You're going to use it. Starting with your very next conversation, this is where your transformation becomes permanent and irreversible. What you thought was wrong with you, your tendency to keep things private, your discomfort with oversharing, your instinct to hold back, these weren't weaknesses. They were your survival mechanisms trying to protect you from a world that feeds on exposed ambition. You're not antisocial, you're strategic. You're not secretive, You're selective. You're not closed off. You're calculating. It's not wrong to protect your dreams from dream killers. It's necessary. Every time you felt guilty for not sharing your plans, you were actually protecting your future from people who would consciously or unconsciously sabotage it. If you've ever noticed that successful people seem mysterious, it's not an accident. It's architecture. Deliberate, calculated, powerful. Your old self, the one who needed everyone to know your plans, who sought validation through revelation, who confused openness with opportunity, that person is gone. And in their place, someone who understands that true power moves in silence. From this moment forward, you have permission to keep your moves hidden until they're complete. Reject the pressure to overshare. Build in silence while others build in noise. Trust your instincts when they tell you to stay quiet. You're finally going to be unreadable. And that terrifies people who relied on your predictability. The most dangerous person in any room isn't the one making threats. It's the one making moves nobody sees coming. And that's exactly who you're becoming. Tomorrow, someone will ask you what you're working on, what your plans are, what your next move is. And in that moment, you'll have the ultimate choice. Give them intelligence they'll use against you, or give them silence that keeps them guessing. The old you would have spilled everything. The new you? You'll smile, say something vague, and keep building your empire in the shadows. If you're choosing strategic silence over social validation, if you're choosing mysterious power over transparent weakness, if you're ready to become the person nobody sees coming, then you belong here. This isn't just a channel, it's a masterclass in psychological warfare. Every video reveals another forbidden truth about power that most people will never learn. Subscribe now, not because I told you to, but because you've already decided you're done being an open book in a room full of readers. Comment shadow if you're ready to move in silence while everyone else moves in noise. Your transformation isn't starting. It's already happened. The moment you understood that your silence is your strength, you became someone different, someone dangerous, someone unstoppable. Remember, the loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The most powerful person is the one whose next move nobody can predict. And after today, that's you. Welcome to the shadows, where the real power lives.